Good afternoon. I'm Reverend Dr. Marlene Morris, and welcome to Spirit Central. Normally, I do this and our Wednesday night at 7 talks live, but due to a prior commitment, I'm pre-recorded today. Please feel free to leave comments or questions in the comment section, and I will respond to you when I return. So, I like to think of this as our weekly spiritual spa, our Sunday spiritual indulgence. We're here to help you feel better if you're feeling bad, and to help you feel even better if you're already feeling fine. And this can serve as a spiritual urgent care if that's what you need at any given moment. If you are here for the first time, welcome. I hope you'll make this a regular Sunday habit. And as I mentioned before, I'm also here on Wednesday nights at 7, so please, feel free to join me. If you have been with us for any length of time, you know that I love to mention that Ernest Holmes, the founder of religious science, used to open his radio and television shows with the words, "There is a power for good in the universe, and you can use it." Now, if you're here for the first time, just know that I really do believe that those words are absolutely true. But, and the greater truth is that you can't not use it. In fact, you're using it all the time because it is done to you according to your belief. The important part of Dr. Holmes' admonition was to remember to use it for good. So, I'm going to ask you to consider this idea. It's kind of a just quick summary of what we believe. We are here to remember who we are. We are children of creation. We are here to remember that we are created in the image and likeness of God. Creation, the universe, whatever you choose to call the creative, motivating force behind all of the universe and beyond. We are here to deal with our misconceptions and to release whatever beliefs may no longer serve us. We are here to learn how to use our divine inheritance, to heal our world and our lives. We are here to be awake, to inspire, to uplift, to heal, and to make whole ourselves and our world. I love to get you thinking right from the get-go because the very last thing I want you to do is to leave your brain at the door. So, here's today's question. It's January 9th. How are you doing with your New Year's resolutions? How are you doing with those plans for changing your body or your mind or your life for the better? Or maybe even making a real difference in the world? Now, I'm not going to talk about resolutions, though maybe I should. Anyway, I'm not going to. But I needed to pre-record today's talk, and if I'm going to talk about resolutions, I really think I would like to do that live, so we can chat. So, we'll get to resolutions at some future date. Maybe next Wednesday at 7 if you'd like. But for today, I want to talk about getting around the roadblocks and detours that get in the way of our spiritual and our life progression. I'll just get started talking about what I'm going to talk about today. And when the talk's over, please feel free to comment on what I've said and let me know if you have any prayer requests. For now, I'm just going to chat, and we'll see where it takes us. 2,000 years ago, plus or minus a few years, 3 wise men courageously followed a star to find a child that they believed would become the Messiah that had been foretold. 30-some years later, that child, by then a young rabbi, took what is now an historical stand against religious practices that he thought had ventured too far from the spiritual truth. Many of the things that he said were considered heretical, especially in an environment which was governed at least as much by politics as it was by religious dogma. In a world in which the entrance to heaven could be bought and sold at the very gates of the temple, he had the audacity to say that the kingdom of heaven, by which he clearly did not mean a celestial retreat spa in a place far, far away, a place with golden streets and pearly gates, but rather a place of such absolute peace and glory and wonder that there was no geographical location anywhere in any time zone, past, present, or future, that could compare with it. We are still looking for it, aren't we? Yet his words were clear. He said, the kingdom of heaven is not low here or low there, but the kingdom of heaven is within you. In the early part of the last century, Ernest Holmes wrote, "We are probably on the verge of a great spiritual awakening." He went on to say that we all look forward to a day when science and religion can walk hand in hand through the visible to the invisible. And though I suspect that it is taking longer than Ernest envisioned, more and more it seems we're getting closer and closer. More and more medical science tells us that the material world and the spiritual world are somehow connected, and that prayer itself has measurable and demonstrable power. More and more, the very reasonable world of physical science tells us there appears to be an integral intelligence in all of life. An intelligence and even a healing power that is evident whether one is looking through a microscope or a telescope, whether one is looking at a wound or a star. And there is a power, a star power, if you will, real intelligence and healing power within all of life. Our computers have been telling us for some time now that there's intel inside, not just inside the computer, but inside you. It seems to be everywhere and in everyone, though I must admit that it is not always immediately evident. Einstein said something deeply hidden has to be behind things, but perhaps not so hidden as we might think. Decades ago, in his outstanding PBS series, Carl Sagan would say softly to his audience, "You're made of star stuff. Don't you know?" I wonder if we might have caught on sooner if Sagan had shouted it. But I do believe that there are people waking up to it now. According to Arjuna Ardagh, the author of The Translucent Revolution, millions of what he calls translucents, people of spiritual insight and awareness, are being identified on this planet. And they are not sitting cross-legged on mountaintops or secreted away in cloistered places. They are highly visible on the planet, working in everyday jobs, in plain sight, and working for the good of the planet and the greater good of all of us. In spite of what we may think, these are not divinely appointed super beings who somehow glow in the dark like a star. They are ordinary, everyday people who live in the world just as we do, but who have stopped looking for the world to fulfill their needs and desires, and have instead chosen to look within for a stellar power and intelligence that abides within their own being. And they have looked and found not only peace, but also, coincidentally, poise and power and prosperity. You know, after a while, you just have to listen to the voices. Reasonable, intelligent voices. Voices from the distant past and voices from the immediate present. And not just a few, but literally now millions of voices, all telling us that we have the answers if we would just look in the right place. And yet my personal experience and over 3 decades of counseling people that I consider to be truly motivated seekers of truth, well, all of that suggests to me that most of us are still looking out there, looking for relief from our dis-ease and discomfort, still searching for something outside ourselves that will fulfill our longings and justify our existence. Something marvelous that will provide for our needs and bring us lasting love and heal our bodies and our affairs and give us peace of mind. It's a big order. And we have looked for all of these in every place we know to look. We have sought the kingdom of heaven in our jobs, in our medicine, in our laws, in our government. We have dissected our neighborhoods and our relationships with one another, looking for the kingdom, queendom, if you will. And still, we stumble around the obvious. It is as though we have set our sights in the right direction, to the stars and beyond. But the map and the territory don't quite seem to equate, do they? And for the most part, they don't. And they won't get us there. Not as long as we are using antiquated coordinates or maps of other people's making. We all have maps in our minds, charts of beliefs about the way things are and the way that we think they are supposed to be. And we interpret everything that has gone on or is going on or might go on soon through the coordinates of those mental maps. We proclaim this direction is good and that direction is bad. We can do this and go there, but we can't do that or go there. And we pretty much stick to the map most of the time. It isn't until we hit a major detour or a truly dead end that we stop to question the accuracy of the route we have been following, sometimes for a lifetime. Nor do we even stop to realize that there is a pattern, a mental map by which we have been guiding our lives. We simply assume that the way things are, the way we have seen things, is the way that they really are and have to be. When often, in fact, they aren't. Sometimes the roadblocks, the setbacks, or the detours get our attention. Sometimes the transformation or or sudden disappearance of the problem in accordance with a moment in which we might actually have had some faith that things might just work out for the best. Sometimes all of that infringes on our consciousness, and we have a momentary insight into something that seems miraculous. But more often than not, we chalk that up to coincidence, and rather than that which is actually the effect of a divine law at work in our lives. And we carry on, carrying on, stumbling, searching. Winston Churchill once said that men occasionally stumble over the truth, but most of them pick themselves up and hurry off as if nothing has happened. Ain't that the truth? We get so caught up in following the dictates of our maps that we forget that we created them for a purpose. We forget that the job was meant to help provide for the dream. That the relationship was created not to fill our gaps, but to assist us in growing into greater, more understanding, more loving individuals. That the doctor and the medicine are here to create the space in which our divinely superior interior intelligence can do the healing that is its natural and logical prerogative. We forget that the destination, heaven on earth, as well as real and abiding peace and poise and power, that all of that is greater than the route, the map, or the roadblock immediately in front of us. We've got to go back to the master plan. We've got to fix our minds, our hearts, and our actions on the primary objective. We've got to remember that we contain an inner guidance system that, bolstered by our faith and empowered by our consciousness, can move mountains and guide us to our objective. Fixing your primary objective is like identifying the North Star. You set your compass on it and then use it as a means of getting back on track when you may have strayed. So what's the objective? Now, please hear, I'm not talking about our individual goals. Goals will differ according to our talents and passions, our likes and our dislikes. But there does remain one primary objective for us all. One North Star heading. To get to spirit. To get to God. To get to good. To align with the spirit of life, the rules for which work in all cases and can be applied to any individual. There is one mental course that will keep us on track, or put us back on track to our primary objective, no matter how far away we may have strayed. There is one truth that can keep us on course for the experience of heaven on earth, no matter what detours life may seem to throw in our path. And without that heading, without that spiritual North Star, without that to follow, we run the constant risk of wandering in deserts of our own making, or finding ourselves out of town, out of time, or out of our minds. And none of these are pleasant places to be. Nor are they destinations that most of us would consciously choose for ourselves. Yet, until we realize that we are one with Spirit, one with the power of the universe, we shall not find the star or the way, for the way is with God, and God is within. Look there. Look, we all want our dreams to become our reality. Well, why else dream? We must align the coordinates of what Scripture calls the words of our mouth and the meditations of our heart, so that they not only affirm, but create the roadmap to the stars, to our dreams, to our aspirations, to heaven on earth. The demonstration of our dreams does not depend upon environment or condition or location or personality or opportunity or certainly luck. It depends on our belief, our acceptance, and our willingness to comply with the law through which all good comes. It is a spiritual law, which is only right because, in fact, it is a spiritual world. If you have ever believed that your environment governs you, or that your opportunities control you, or that the boss or your spouse or the stars or the past have any real power over you, this is the time to reassess and deny that. There is no limitation, no karma, no fatalism, no theology, no person, place, or thing, nor any hell that has any power over you. The power is right here within you, and you have as much of it as you choose to believe in. Your life, in truth, is unlimited. Unlimited. It is filled with good. And it awaits your awakened thought to move into action. But the awakening must be in your thought. What you believe moves you forward or holds you back. You have the power to direct the course of your life, but you must believe you have it. Belief is the key. It is the route to the stars and beyond. You can manifest your dreams in spite of yourself, in spite of your past, in spite of your fears. The truth of this power is that it's waiting for you to believe and for you to act. It awaits your faith and your follow-through. We are made of star stuff. We are made of unlimited, unbounded, whole, perfect, and complete God stuff. The stuff of which the stars are made is the stuff of you. So, I think it's time we stopped whispering to ourselves and among ourselves about our truth and started realizing that it is the truth of our being. It's time to stop acting like there's a sleeping giant out there that we have to tiptoe around because it might gobble us up if we proclaimed the truth too loudly or actually acted in accordance with it all the time. All the time, no matter what. I'm talking about living like we really believe what we say we believe, no matter how it may appear in the moment, no matter what other people may place judgments upon, because it is right, because it is not just true, but because it's the highest truth. I'm talking about really saying what we know in our hearts and souls is the greatest reality. God is all there is. It permeates everything. It is in and through everything. It expresses as everything and everyone. It is all that we are. It's all that I am. It's all that you are. Period. When you know that, you know all that you need to know in the present moment. And all else will be revealed in its time. That's the promise. The promise is powerful. The potential is unlimited. But the message still waits for you to hear it. You are made of star stuff, God stuff, spirit stuff. Nothing is denied to you. And all things are truly possible if you believe. You know, if you listen carefully, you can hear it in today's headlines or yesterday's words of wisdom. It's everywhere. Edwin Chapin writes, "A true man never ever frets about his place in the world, but just slides into it by the gravitation of his nature and swings there as easily as a star." Or perhaps you can hear it in the age-old scriptural verbiage. The message, the truth, whenever spoken, remains the same. The word, which is with God and has power, is with thee, even in thine own mouth. And thou should know it and do it. Not my words. Know it. Do it. Do it now. You may stumble, but by the grace of God, by the power of Spirit, you can rise up. You can always rise up. You may detour, but you can place your foot back on the path. It's never too late to begin. It is never too late to be wise. You can follow the star. The star which from the beginning has been implanted in your soul. And you can reach your destination, your dream. You can. It happened for the wise men. It can happen for you. It can. You know, it is said that when they had delivered their gifts and seen the child, knowing the dangers that would befall them if they went back the way they came, the wise men left another way. And therein is the bonus gift. For when you follow that star, even though you may stumble, the grace of God lifts, protects, and guides you. And you will arrive at your destination, and arriving there, you will be changed. You will not be the person that began the journey. And you will be wise enough to know that you can't go back to the way that it was, but that transformed, you will leave another way. You have only to choose to let your inner star guide you and believe that Spirit is with you and that the kingdom and the power and the glory will be yours now, and forever. That when you follow that star, when you surrender to the guidance of that star, you will be changed from glory to glory. Because it can be no other way. And so it is. A bright new year. You know, once upon a time, more than a few years ago, my children and I were in a workshop together, and the facilitator asked them what generally happened when there was an invitation to have a family discussion, a family talk. And my eldest, always on top of things and willing to make his opinion known quickly, answered, "Generally, when we have a family talk, she talks and we listen." I've never forgotten it. And he wasn't wrong. I feel like it's almost the same situation today, since I'm not really here, but you are, and I can talk, but I can't hear your responses or see them. However, I will read them later, and I will respond. But you can respond to one another in the comments section, and please do that. For now, having said what I came to say, I think I'd like to pray. So please join me. Simply close your eyes if that's comfortable for you, or soft focus. You can soft focus if you choose on the candles behind me, or candles of your own. Simply allow your gaze to be softened and your attention to move within to that place that is absolutely within the kingdom, a place of power. And know with me that you are never alone. God is where you are right now. You have only to look within at any moment to know that you are guided, you are protected, you are sustained, and you are inspired by a God that knows only good. Connect to that. Breathe in and feel yourself breathing in the softness, the gifts of God, freely given, no strings attached. And when you exhale, know that you are exhaling anything unlike that awareness. Any old doubts or fears, any beliefs that no longer support or sustain you. Just let them go. Let them go. And breathe in once again, and breathe in the power and the glory and the joy and the beauty, the strength, the peace. Whatever it is you choose to take in from the universe, it's all there for you. Breathe it in, let it fill you, let it become you. Choose it and it will choose you. And feel the warmth within you growing and the light within you growing and the peace and the poise and the presence. God becomes you. And I know for each of us now that that which we claim becomes our reality. But we claim in and through the power of Spirit within us. And so I claim for each of us wholeness, peace, love, joy, creativity. Events and opportunities that support our talents and our likes and our gifts. And we appear to be chosen, but the fact is we have chosen ourselves. We choose spirit, we choose truth, we choose truth and beauty and love and wonder. And so that is our experience. And for all of those with special requests, I claim the truth of that request now, that it is a reality and not just a hope or a dream, but a truth, an actuality, a real presence. And for those in the darkness, I claim light. For those in loneliness, I choose love. For those who have felt lost, I choose place, kingdom, fullness, wholeness, and a sense of direction that is unparalleled. Peace, my friends, poise, grace. And unlimited amounts of love and energy. Unlimited awareness of the presence of power within. And I am so very grateful, so grateful to know that when we speak from this place, from the place of the kingdom of heaven within us, every word we speak becomes reality. Grateful. Truly, truly grateful for the answered prayers, spoken and unspoken, for they are all heard by Spirit and acted upon. And so we believe and we accept, and we sing and we dance, and we are happy today. And that is good. And we let it be so. And so it is. I invite you to join me in our closing. Do we have a closing song?
It's posted. It's been posted.
Okay. I'm for some reason not getting the comments. So
Oh, okay. It's there.
I will just know we have a closing song. Please go there as soon as you're done. And then come on back and talk.
Get wisdom.
Get wisdom. Oh, with all you're getting.
Prepare to tap your feet.
Okay. Foot tapping approved. Will you say with me our closing affirmation? Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. And life is in all my affairs. I think it. I feel it. I believe it. And I accept it. Just the way that it is. Hold on. And just the way that it is not. Thank you, life. You are now released to toe tapping and getting wisdom. And the rest of your Sunday, may it feel as blessed as I know that you are. Please join me Wednesday night at 7. I look forward to knowing that you are there and to being with you. And so it is.